Jerry Snyder Guitar School, page 10, beginning chords. They start off real simple here. They're only going to have you be playing 3 strings at a time. And those 2 chords are the G7 chord and the C chord. So the 3 strings you're going to be playing are the lower 3 strings. Those 3 down there. So just give me 1 second. Adjust that light a little bit. There we go, that's better. And you're going to be only dealing with the first fret. So for the G7 chord, actually, before we even talk about this, we should really discuss what this shape means right here. Because when you look at this, this is called a frame. And you'll notice that it looks a lot like a part of a guitar. The question is, which part of the guitar does it look like? And the answer is, a frame is the first 3 frets of the guitar. That's why you'll see this little thicker rectangle at the top, and then the strings going down, and then this is all 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret. Now, let's put that next to that so you can see what I'm talking about. Put it right there. So as you can see, we're dealing with, it's actually kind of hard to show the difference. We've got, there you go. So when you're looking at this first chord, this over here, this is the E6 string. That's the lowest sounding one. And you'll notice there's an X. So X, X, X means you're not going to be playing this string, or this string. Which if you're holding the guitar like this, that's the first 3 strings. Now, the other 3 strings, you'll notice above that, it says O, O. Now it looks like a 0, but it actually means O, and that means open. So open, open means you're gonna play those 2 strings and leave it open, meaning not putting any fingers on the frets. Now the last one does have some information. You'll notice there's a black dot. That black dot, ignore the number 1 for a second, but that black dot it tells you where to put your finger. Now the number in the dot tells you which finger to use. On a guitar, these are the 4 fingers that kind of wrap around to play your guitar. We refer to this as finger 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb doesn't get a number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you see that 1 right there, it's telling you to use your index finger, your 1 finger, on the 1st fret of that E string. So to play a G7 chord, you're gonna play those bottom 3 strings, and you're only gonna press down on the 1st fret of the F string. And you get that kind of bluesy sounding G7 sound. And then try playing that once you feel like you get a good sound on that top string, because it might be a little buzzy, just not pressing hard enough, and make sure you're not too close to the line. You don't wanna be there. So here we go. There's the good sound. Now you play these 3. That's a pretty good sound for G7. Now, example 1 just has you practice counting and playing that 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You just do that to kind of get used to it. Now, look at the next chord down, the C chord, using only 3 strings. Actually, I'm gonna backtrack for a minute. I want you to look to the right of the guitar frame for the G7, and you'll notice there's something else important. Take a look. Something that says TAB, tab. That's what the actual notes you're playing look like, but we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna look at these numbers right here. Now let's see how this connects to that. So these 6 lines going across represent the 6 strings of the guitar. So right here, that 0 right there means to play the G string open. That 0 right there means to play the B string open, and that 1 means to play 1st fret. So that's just 2 different ways to look at it. You can either look at it in frame notation or tab notation. But using that logic, let's take a look at the C chord now. So for the C chord, we have 0, 1, 0 if you look at the tab, and if you look in the frame, so there's the tab, 0, 1, 0 right there. But if you look at the frame, we still have X, X, X on the first 3 strings, so we're not gonna play those. And then we have open, 1st fret on the B string, and then open again. So now it's gonna look like this. Not on this string, but on the next string in. And we get this nice sounding C chord. Now the challenge with this one that everybody always has in the beginning is that you might be putting this finger in the correct spot, but you have to be really careful that the underneath of this finger isn't touching this string by mistake, because then you get this sound. Watch. And you might be wondering, like, wait, why is that last string not working? Now, pay attention to my index finger. Look how tall I have to make it. If you look at it at this angle, you can see it's like straight down, because if you relax it too much, it's going to touch that E string. So put nice and tall, and then you're going to play all three. There's your C chord. Now, it's going to take some getting used to, like getting these chords fast and hitting them with clarity. But I am going to go ahead and show you the two songs on this page. So example 3 goes back and forth between the C chord and the G7 chord. You're only going to be moving one finger when you switch chords. So we're going to start on the C chord, get a nice tall space right here so that we're not leaning down on that E string. And it sounds like this. Example 3. Ready and go. Beats of rest. 1, switch your finger to a G7, go. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I encourage you to count out loud because it helps you to keep track of where you are, but that's that whole song. You end up playing the C chord 4 times twice, 4 beats of rest, so you have time to switch, and then you switch to G7. Now, Marianne is another story. There's no rest. And this will be the last tip I cover for this page. The thing about Marianne is that they're not going to write it out using these little curvy lines here. This is called slash notation. When you see that note right there that has like a little curved line, a diagonal, it's just telling you to play the entire C chord, all 3 strings. But down here, we don't really have that. They just write a C above the music. They do put a few slashes in the beginning, but then they disappear because they expect you to understand that when you're reading music, guitar music, every measure of music, which is separated by these lines here, has 4 beats in it in this song. And you're going to go ahead and play that C chord 4 times in this measure. Now this measure, there's nothing written, but because there's not a new letter, you just play C again. 1, 2, 3, and then we see G7. So you switch to G7 right in this measure, and you're going to play that 4 times. Here's a new measure because of this bar line right here. Another 4 beats. Let me open this book a little more. Where'd I go? And then another 4 beats here. 2, 3, 4. Still on G7. 1, 2, 3. And then C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I could go through the whole thing and explain that, but really, if you look at your music and count the measures, you're going to play C for 2 measures, or 8 strums total, I guess. Two counts of 4. Then you're going to play G7 for 4 measures. Then you're going to play C again for 4 measures. Then G7 for 4 measures. And then you finish up with C for 4 measures. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do 2 things at once. I'm going to play the song, but I'm also going to sing it, just so you can see how it sounds and get a frame of reference. So here we go. We got our C chord ready. And I grabbed my pick for this one to give it a little bit more of a clear sound. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All day, all night, switch. Mary Ann, 1, 2, 3, down, down by the seashore, switch. Sifting sands, even little children love Mary Ann's. G7, down by the, now look for the chord changes, seashore, now, sifting sands. And for that last measure, I just do 1 strum and kind of hold it out. So there you have it, page 10. That'll get you started with your first 2 chords and just comfortable with how to read frame notation, read a little bit of tab, and maybe even try some singing too.